always so appreciative of your time, the gift of your presence, your energy to be here. So I say thank you very much for that. Today I am addressing a question that I have been getting from various different people that I work with, different clients, friends, relatives, and it's basically this question of what do I do with this feeling of frustration, of anger, this feeling of immense pain and hurt regarding what's happening in the world around us, whether it's natural tragedies, whether it's politics, whether abuses that are taking place. And then more personally, how do I handle it when it shows up on my doorstep, when it's the financial struggles I'm going through, whether it's relationship, whether it's within my own career or within myself. What do I do when I feel so much chaos and turmoil, and now what? And so I love that question for the reason that it's something that is universal. It's something that we all understand and have gone through. And what I'm going to suggest, which are a few things, are how do we begin to peel it back and see what's really happening, and then what do I do with it? So the first thing I start with is something that should not surprise those of you who know me, which is I'm going to say slow it down. Take some deep breaths so that I can really see and get clear and honest with myself about what really has me most angry or upset or hurt. And if I can also get clear about what part of this issue that's going on scares me. Do I feel scared for my own safety? For the safety of other people? Do I feel concerned about the impact this may have on my own livelihood or livelihood of a greater group of people? Do I feel as though maybe I'm helpless or hopeless, and it scares me to think that things are swirling around me and that there's little that I can do about it? So I say slow it down, take a deep breath, and really feel into what is going on within me. Because we spend a lot of energy talking about the issue. We talk a lot about the turmoil. We talk a lot about what is happening. And I want you to now shift it and go within and say, what does that mean to me? And what is it doing within me? Do I feel triggered? Does it remind me of something? Am I scared about something in the past being repeated in my present or in my future? Do I feel as though it's too big and I'm experiencing that sense of paralysis, of enormity, like it's so huge, what do I do? Do I feel as though I'm just watching it and I have no say and no power? So get clear about what do I feel, and if it's a fear, which most of the time it is, admit it. We need to admit it and then feel that fear so I can now put space in between it and say, is my fear the truth about what is or what will happen? Because typically fear is all about past or all about future and usually not about what is. So now I can get clear and say, what do I have control over? And 100% of the time you have control over your response. What you think about, what you say. And so I want you to rein it in. And remember that your words are powerful. Remember that your thoughts can bring you with them, or you can bring your thoughts with you. So decide, where am I putting my energy? And then I want you to also begin to say, how can I use my power in a way that is for my highest and best good, and for the highest and best good of those around me? And only you can answer that question honestly. Not what everybody else may tell you they should do or what they think you should do, but slowing it down and say, what do I have influence and control over that will be for my highest and best good and for the highest and best good of those around me? And when we ask ourselves that question, we move from the place of feeling though I need to react and push back to, wow, now I see that I have power and choice. And with that, admitting what I do not have power and what I do not have choice and what I do not have control over is also important. So I can let that go and not carry it on and not think that I am hitting my head against the wall trying to burst through that wall as though it's up to me to make it happen. But instead, I keep my energy where I do have control so that I can respond with clarity. And I can respond in a place where there is truth. And I can respond with compassion towards myself and towards others. And then I ask, what is it that I may not be seeing? Am I leaving out information? Is there another perspective that I haven't considered? And then doing the challenging work of being open and say, I'm open to seeing and listening to and discovering a perspective, a belief that may be different than my own. And being open to hear it and to see it and to understand it does not mean you need to agree with it. But when we open ourselves up to see more, now I can move through with more understanding and hopefully do so coming from a place of truth and clarity and compassion. And I use those three when it comes to all kinds of communication, but also when it comes to how we choose to put our energy, how I choose to respond, what I choose to think about. Am I coming from a place of truth, compassion, and clarity? Or are there other aspects that maybe I don't yet understand and see, and then can I be open? Now this takes maturity, and we don't see a lot of this in front of us on the news these days. We see a lot of people fighting against each other, bickering back and forth, screaming their position against another person's position. And we could do that. We have choice. There are no have-tos. I just ask, what is that doing? Is it fueling the pain points within us? Is it fueling the anger, the frustration? Is it causing us to fight not only against someone else, but within our own selves because now I've carried that energy and angst with me? Or can I see where is there room for me to see something I haven't seen before? And then I can ask the question, now what will be my response? That is authentic for me and that comes from a place of truth, clarity, compassion. And there is your peace in the midst of a storm, in the midst of something that is outside of your control, so that you can see, what do I have influence and control over? What can I do that's productive and that has a greater service for me and for others? So I ask you to think about that. Yes, there will always be the unexpected. If we knew everything and could see everything, then what would be the point of going through this journey? But instead we get to practice and see, what does the unexpected reveal within me.